February 1984, deep inside the Pentagon, a decision is finalized that will alter the future of global air power forever. A single contract will choose the next backbone of American strategic strike capability. Two titans stood on the tarmac at Edwards Air Force Base, waiting for the verdict. One was a dual-engine brute force evolution, the other an avant-garde masterpiece of radical design. The radical design lost. The cutting-edge prototypes were quietly rolled into dark hangars, covered in tarps, and nearly forgotten by history. General Dynamics' dream was over. Or was it? The F-16XL was a revolutionary engineering leap. Featuring a massive cranked aero delta wing, it promised twice the range and double the weapon payload of the standard Fighting Falcon. It could cruise at supersonic speeds without using its afterburner, carrying a staggering 27 separate weapons hardpoints underneath its colossal wing structure. It was an aerodynamic miracle. Yet, the United States Air Force chose the safer, twin-engine F-15A Strike Eagle instead. It was a choice defined by low financial risk and immediate operational familiarity. But what if the gamble paid off? What if the Air Force embraced the radical future and selected the F-16XL as their definitive dual-role fighter? To understand this alternate reality, we must travel back to the late 1970s. The Vietnam War had exposed severe vulnerabilities in America's tactical bombing fleet. The venerable General Dynamics F-111 was aging, complex to maintain, and highly vulnerable in high-threat environments. The Air Force desperately needed a fast, survivable replacement. The solution was the Enhanced Tactical Fighter Program, later known as the Dual Role Fighter Competition. The mandate was simple: strike deep into enemy territory without fighter escort. General Dynamics didn't want to design an entirely new airplane from scratch. Instead, they looked at their highly successful F-16 Fighting Falcon and decided to completely transform it. Partnering with NASA, aerodynamicists experimented with a radical new wing shape. They lengthened the fuselage by over 50 inches and removed the traditional horizontal stabilizers entirely. Two prototypes were built: a single-seat variant powered by a Pratt & Whitney engine, and a two-seat version utilizing a powerful General Electric L-10 power plant. The magic of the F-16XL lay entirely in its cranked aero delta wing. It provided more than double the surface area of a standard F-16 wing. This massive internal volume allowed the aircraft to carry 82% more internal fuel than a standard Falcon, completely eliminating the need for drag-inducing drop tanks. Furthermore, the wing shape naturally reduced drag at supersonic speeds. The aircraft could easily maintain Mach 1.6 without engaging its fuel-hungry afterburner system. Flight testing at Edwards Air Force Base began in July 1982. Legendary test pilots climbed into the cockpit to push the radical airframe to its absolute breaking points. The jet proved to be astonishingly agile. Despite its massive size, it retained the crisp, instantaneous handling characteristics that pilots loved about the original F-16. It routinely performed low altitude. High-speed penetration runs across the desert floor, proving it could easily hide beneath enemy radar networks at night. Despite its incredible performance, reality was harsh. The Air Force feared the F-16L required too much structural modification, extending development time compared to the F-15A. In February 1984, the Strike Eagle won. The F-16 all prototypes were handed over to NASA for laminar flow research before being permanently retired to museum storage. The F-16XL represented a peak of Cold War independent engineering innovation. It proved that a lightweight fighter could be dramatically evolved into a heavyweight long-range strike asset. Its cancellation marked the end of an era of radical, low-cost structural experiments, pushing the military toward incredibly expensive, entirely new airframe programs instead. But history is not set in stone. Imagine the Pentagon prioritizing the lower operating costs and massive manufacturing infrastructure already in place for the F-16. In the spring of 1984, the Air Force officially announces the F-16XL as the winner. Designated the F-16 Strike Falcon, mass production begins immediately in Fort Worth. By 1990, hundreds of Strike Falcons fill the active inventory. When the Gulf War erupts, these heavy Delta Wing fighters are deployed straight to the front lines. During Operation Desert Storm, the Strike Falcon changes the face of the air war. Flying deep into Iraq at night, their enormous payloads devastate Scud missile sites. Because the F-16A requires only a single engine, maintenance costs plummet compared to the real-world F-15A, allowing the Air Force to fly double the combat sorties. International buyers take immediate notice. Israel quickly adopts the platform as the F-16XL Delta, utilizing its long range to patrol deep regional boundaries without refueling. If the F-16XL had won, its vast internal wing space would have easily accommodated modern digital electronic warfare suites and modern internal active electronically scanned array radars. Its large payload capacity would have made it the ultimate platform for deploying heavy, modern hypersonic cruise missiles that struggle to fit underneath standard lightweight fighters today. The choice of the F-15E was safe, logical, and highly effective, but choosing the F-16 Eagle could have created a cheaper, more versatile, and numerically superior tactical air fleet. The Strike Falcon remains one of aviation's greatest missed opportunities, a flawless blend of elegant mathematics and pure military utility that was stopped just short of greatness. The next time you look at a modern fighter jet, remember the F-16XL, a machine that dared to reshape the sky, born in an era when engineering imagination knew no limits.